3 more to go. Let's take it.
Racetrack 2026. Race 2.
The 2026 season opener finally gave Aarron Deliu his first win. The breakthrough he'd been chasing. Sharp, biting turns, blistering speed. He muscled his rivals aside. Martin Šonka missed the win, but lit up the opening race in second. The old master back in form. Muroya took third, posting quick times run after run, but the matchups just didn't fall his way. And for the two newcomers, it was a tough debut. Both settled near the back. Now every point counts towards the championship, and that makes race 2 pivotal. 8 engines fire up.
The Racetrack 2026 series features 2 new pilots, bringing together 8 of the world's top competitors from 7 countries. Across the skies, around the globe, they compete in a battle against the clock to determine who is the fastest. Racetracks are set at the home bases of teams around the world. Each team takes on the time attack in real-world flights from their own home base. With pilots competing from locations across the globe, Racetrack unfolds as a truly multi-location race. One of the key features of the Race 2 track is its 4 low turns. The racetrack is approximately 800 meters long and consists of 5 pylon sets and 15 gates. While the layout is the same as Race 1, the gate sequence and turning techniques are completely different. The start gate speed is limited to 372 kilometers per hour. From there, pilots accelerate up to 400 kilometers per hour as they fly through the track. The key challenge is the 4 low turns at gates 4, 8, 11, and 13. Pilots must endure sustained lateral g-forces while carrying speed into the next gate. With fewer opportunities to convert altitude into speed, maintaining speed depends on precise racing lines and G management. Racetrack 2026 Qualifying. To determine the matchups for the knockout rounds, time trials were held around the world. Newcomer number 22, Melissa Burns qualified in 8th place with a time of 87.116 seconds. Another newcomer, number 12, Mike Tryggvason, qualified in 7th place with a time of 77.718 seconds. Number 86, Emma McDonald, qualified in 6th place with a time of 71.573 seconds after receiving a 1-second smoke penalty. Number 26, Juan Velarde, qualified in 5th place with a time of 69.310 seconds. Number 8, Martin Šonka, qualified in 4th place with a time of 66.479 seconds. Number 77, Patrick Davidson, qualified 3rd with a time of 65.193 seconds. Number 7, Aarron Deliu, winner of the season opener, qualified 2nd with a time of 64.569 seconds. And the top qualifier was number 31, Yoshihide Muroya, with a time of 64.314 seconds.
The qualifying results have set the knockout tournament lineup. Qualifier, Heat A. 3rd in qualifying, defended champion Patrick Davidson, chasing back-to-back titles. Up against him, 6th in qualifying, Emma McDonald. Can she unlock her aircraft's new potential and show real pace? Heat B. 4th in qualifying, Martin Šonka. The old master back in form, fast again at the opener. Against him, 5th in qualifying, Juan Velarde, whose clever flying puts him in the hunt for one of the top spots. Heat C. 2nd in qualifying and riding high off his opening win, Aarron Deliu. Facing him, 7th in qualifying, Michael Tryggvason. Can a newcomer find his speed in only his 2nd race? Heat D. Top of qualifying, Yoshihide Muroya, looking to march steadily toward the title. Against him, 8th in qualifying, Melissa Burns. Can she adapt to race flying and show it here? All eyes are on the top 4 from qualifying, but can someone from the charging back break into the front? Each team hunts for the best conditions at its home base and launches into the knockout tournament. 8 pilots, 4 heats, everyone counts.
Racetrack 2026 quarterfinal. Heat A.
Your expectations for race 2?
I don't know, I just got to. We've sort of had sight of the other guys' practice times, and I don't think they're unachievable. But yeah, the risk is always there that you're going to make a mistake or over G or too low, too high in the turn. So yeah, we'll give it our best shot, but I think we're in with a chance.
I really like race 2 actually. The track's quite fun. It's not as hard on the body I'm finding, and that's probably the factor of now we're G tolerant now from race 1 and the aggressive workup that we did. I do like the turns. There is different ways you can go about this track, and I've tried a couple of different ways through my practice and quali, and just changed my tactic on which line I'm going to be running for that. Yeah, so it's a cool track.
Patrick Davidson struggled to find his rhythm in the opening round, but still secured 4th place. With the top contenders separated by only a small margin, he knows the defensive approach won't be enough to win. Chasing back-to-back titles, he can't afford to lose ground here. Emma McDonald was unable to unlock the full potential of her new aircraft in the opening round. But if she can bring together her flying skills and the aircraft's performance, she'll be right back in contention. For both pilots, race 2 will reveal whether the updates made since the opening round have paid off.
Okay, there's our first pilot, Davidson, from South Africa, taking off from Grahamstown in the Eastern Cape of South Africa. Davidson is last year's winner, and he had some weather struggles on the first race, race number 1, but this is race number 2. The weather looks perfect. Good winds should set him up for a good run today. Now, a good time is anywhere in that 1:06 range. That's what you're looking for. 1:06 is a good time on this track. This track's a little more difficult than the race running track. It has 4 low turns and 1 VTM, or vertical turning maneuver. Okay, entry speed, solid, 368, well within the range. This is a critical turn right here. Anything in that 8-second range on the first sector time is good, and he's right at it. 8 seconds, that's solid. All right, Patrick Davidson coming now to the back end of the track. He's going to set up for the vertical turn maneuver. Good pull on the stick, good timing, looks solid. Releases the G, accelerates the airplane. Now he goes out to gate number 8. This is our 2nd sector time. Anything in that 32-second range is considered excellent. And he's 31:38. He's doing very well so far. A solid run by Davidson as he's coming through. He's going to go through gate number 11, which is a low turn, high G, there it is. And now it's going to be to this very critical gate number 13. Looking for something in the 54-second range. That's considered a good sector time. And let's see what comes up. Right at it, 54.081. Right, Davidson making a sprint to the finish now. Let's see if he can post a good time somewhere in that 1:06 range. Oh, it looks like he's gathering some speed, and he has 1:05.466. What a great time from Patrick Davidson, because on that run, he's going to put a lot of pressure on McDonald. And there she is, McDonald, our second pilot in Heat A of the quarterfinals. She has to post a time better than 1:05 if she wants to carry through. Now, she's been flying better and better, but she hasn't seen that range yet. That's a little bit out of her range. She's taken off from Vicksburg Tallulah Regional Airport in Louisiana. She looks very calm. She's really gaining a lot of confidence. You can see it in the way that she's flying. Now, the main thing for McDonald is she has to attack this track with great speed and hit that first gate with authority. Right at the top speed, 372. Okay, that's perfect. Let's see how she does here on the first horizontal turn. A lot of G. And she's ahead by 0.199 seconds. She is ahead of Davidson. All she has to do is maintain that form, and she should carry through. Right, going outbound now for the vertical turn maneuver. That looks solid. She's got to recognize the course, and she has. She needs to be a little bit cleaner on her rolls, but she looks fine. Let's see how she does here. Somewhere in the 32-second range is good, but she's behind. 1.735 seconds behind Davidson, and that all happened between gates 4 and 8. So we got gate 11 coming up here. That's that low turn. That's a good turn there. Now, gate 13 is going to tell the story. She must be somewhere in that 54-second range if she has a shot on the finish, and there's a good turn. She's got to pull hard. Oh, and she's losing more time. 2.35 seconds from McDonald, and it's going to be very difficult to make it up with only a few gates left. She's going to have to do the best that she can, and it's not going to be enough. 1 minute 8.127 seconds, not enough to overthrow Davidson. So McDonald, her day is done, although she has very much improved in her racing.
We had 2 days available to do among the biggest thunderstorms, so there was a lot of rushing to be able to get those windows and get the flying done. Strategy for us, again, is just get through safely.
Winner, Patrick Davidson, 1 minute 05.466 seconds, no penalty. So let's take a look at the review. Ben, over to you.
All right, here we go. First heat of this race, quarterfinal A. Both pilots with a clean entry into the track, flying in light wind conditions, so it shouldn't be a very large factor, but you can see at that first low turn, the difference in angle and pull-up timing. Patrick taking a just gigantic lead that's going to be really hard now for Emma to catch. Pull-up timing on the high turn from Patrick looks great. Emma maybe just a little bit behind, both executing with the good G schedule, nice radiuses, but Patrick just really showing these low turns, big cut angle, how much time he's able to make with those cut angles. Again, this is like a low turn theme track. There's a lot of low turns. You got to get that angle set, you got to get the timing right, and you got to just hit the G to maximize the time in this track. Patrick opting for an interesting right roll there to finish that low turn, sets him up really perfect for the last gate coming into our final low turn, and now it's just running away with it. Patrick just as clean and smooth as you can, and that's a really fantastic time.
Quarterfinal, Heat B.
I think in race 2, we need to improve our lines. I think I have to be more aggressive, taking a little bit more risk, flying through the gates with more angle, getting more angle in the gates. And well, but on the other hand, that's always more risk to get some penalties, so pilot hit or climbing in the gate. So we'll see.
That's absolutely different track compared to race 1. We could play a little bit with or much more with the trajectory. So yeah, with lack of time, which we had, it was challenging. So we'll see the result now. Hopefully it will work for us.
Juan Velarde is known for his calm and consistent flying. Although he trails the 4th fastest qualifying time by more than 2.5 seconds, a well-judged, aggressive run could put him in contention. Martin Šonka showed impressive pace from the qualifying in the opening round, securing 2nd place. He also recorded a time in the 66-second range in race 2 qualifying, proving his consistent speed. Can he reach the semifinals and mark his return to the front?
Okay, there's our first pilot in our second heat, and this is a quarterfinal. That's Juan Velarde. He is taking off from Casarubas del Monte Airfield in Castilla-La Mancha, Spain. There he is. Looks like a good weather day. And he is up against Martin Šonka. So Velarde, they're both veterans. They definitely have the experience. But Velarde's going to have to find a little bit of time. Šonka's been flying very well lately, particularly in race number 1. So let's see what Velarde can do here. Remember, a good time is somewhere in that 1 minute 6 second range. That's what we're looking for. 1 minute 6 second range is usually considered excellent. All right, let's see now his entry into the track. Good altitude, great start speed. Can't get any better than that. Right on the number. Right, this is that big low turn, the first one, a lot of G on the body, and he's at 8.19. Remember, we thought 8 seconds is a good time at gate number 4, that first sector time. Now he's going to set himself up for the vertical turn maneuver right here. Looks solid. A lot of G on the body. Roll, there it is. A good crisp roll from Velarde as he's going to set himself up now for gate number 8. Somewhere in that 32-second range is considered excellent. Looks like a decent attack there, and he's right on pace, 32-34. So this could be a great run for Velarde from Spain. He's going to have to set the mark that Šonka's going to have to beat. Okay, coming up and over the top again for another low turn maneuver. There we go. All right, here it is. Gate number 13. We're looking for somewhere in that 54-second range. And he is lost some time there, 57 seconds. That's a shame because he had a good run going there. It's a final sprint to the finish for Velarde. Let's see what he can post. He's going to set the standard. 1 minute 8.621. Not his best effort. He's going to be disappointed. There were no penalties, but I think somewhere between gate 11 and 13, he had a struggle on that low turn out of gate 11, and that cost him some speed. So, unfortunately for Velarde, he has set himself up for this man right here, Martin Šonka. There he is. Šonka be taken off here in just a few moments from Tabor Airfield in South Bohemia, Czech Republic. Now, he doesn't know the time that he has to beat, but Šonka has been consistently in that 1 minute 6 range. So that would clearly get the job done. You can see the visor's off, so there must be a little bit of cloud cover there today. You can see the clouds. The weather's nice. There's no real advantage for one pilot to the other on these multi-venue tracks. All right, coming in to attack the track. Must be 1 minute 8 seconds. And let's see his start speed. 368, very solid. That's exactly where you want to be. Now, this is going to be the important turn. Gate number 4, great angle there. Real good angle. And it pays off. He's 0.113 seconds ahead of Velarde. Now he's going to go to the vertical turn maneuver. We won't get a sector time here, but let's see how good that vertical turn is. Solid. Yes, a good hard pull. Nice G on the airplane, then relaxes it to accelerate the airplane. Now, gate number 8 is going to tell the tale for Šonka. Another great angle as he pulls, and is slightly more ahead, 0.507 seconds ahead of Velarde. So now it's just a function of holding what you got. Coming back now to gate 11, this is another low turn maneuver. A lot of G on the body there, as you can see from Šonka. All right, outbound on the course. It's going to be gate number 13, the final sector time. Will he be ahead of Velarde? And he is. 2.494 seconds. That's where Velarde lost all his time between gate 11 and 13. And that tells the tale right there for Šonka. Penalty-free, 1 minute 6.419. A solid run. Remember, 1 minute 6 is good. Šonka carries on to the semifinals. Sadly, that's the end of the day for Velarde.
Well, I just flew quarterfinals, race 2. I'm happy with the flight. The first run was clean and the time was okay. The second run, was a little faster, but unfortunately I got a penalty. I pulled up too early on gate number 4. But anyhow, I'm happy with the flight. Let's see if it's enough to go through the semifinals. Thank you.
Winner, Martin Šonka. 1 minute 06.419 seconds. No penalty.
All right, for Heat B, we've got our 2 European-based pilots, and let's see how they get on. Both flying in sort of similar wind conditions. It's summertime there, it's hot, it could be humid, bumpy, really gonna have to fight those conditions. Nice angle from both pilots, and you can see Martin just able to keep a little bit more G on the airplane on that first low turn. That allows Juan to carry a little more energy as you see him pass coming down the other end into the high turn. Now, looks like maybe Juan fighting a little bit of headwind now, a little bit higher on the high turn, taking a longer path, holding a little bit more energy. The energy on the airplane looks good, but is it going to be enough to catch up with Martin? Martin, better angle, better timing for this next low turn, and the gap is staying pretty consistent, but just being able to deal with that a little better. This final turn is where it makes all the difference. Juan going almost straight to the gate, kind of an easy setup, good pull-up timing, but that straight angle really takes him away from the fastest line. Now it's going to be extremely hard to catch Martin. Martin flying very tight, very clean, pushing the limits a little bit on the angles in the G, but able to just pull off this heat.
Racetrack features a number of rules designed to ensure precision and fairness. Here are some of the key penalties. Start speed exceeded. The entry speed is strictly regulated at 372 kilometers per hour, or 200 knots. Exceeding the limit results in a 1-second penalty, while exceeding it by more than 6 kilometers per hour leads to immediate disqualification. Pylon hit, course deviation. Passing through the designated pylon positions results in a 2-second penalty. Leaving the course boundaries results in a DNF. Insufficient smoke. If the race director rules that the aircraft is producing no smoke or insufficient smoke, it's a 1-second penalty. Over G. Exceeding the maximum load factor of 12 G results in a DNF. Quarterfinal, Heat C.
Ready, race 2, qualifying 1 is complete, and I took out a bunch of pylons. I got a little too sporty just with gates 12 through 15, and that line didn't work. So for the next flight, just looking to clean up the line a little bit and try and make it through without any gate penalties. See you on the track.
Race 1 for 2026 is done. We've been curious to see what the results are, and it dropped. We won, and we laid down a killer time in the semis, which was able to knock out Yoshi. 3 more to go. Let's take it.
Newcomer Mike Tryggvason impressed in the opening round with a clean run, free of penalties, showcasing his consistent flying ability. In race 2, can he deliver a more aggressive run and find the pace to reach the quarterfinals? Meanwhile, Aarron Deliu claimed his first Air Race X victory in the opening round. His aggressive, tight-turning approach has paid off so far, but it demands precise G management and comes with a greater risk. Can he combine aggression with consistency to advance to the semifinals?
All right, there is Michael Tryggvason. He's a rookie, and he's going to set himself up here for Heat C, our 3rd quarterfinal. There he is, and he's going to be taking off from Vicksburg to Lula Airport in Louisiana. The Canadian pilot is looking to post a good time. Now, he's got his work cut out for him because he's up against Aarron Deliu. But Tryggvason, he's been getting better. He's beginning to figure this style of flying out. It does take a lot of risk. You must take risk if you want to post a low time. So Tryggvason will probably, knowing who he's up against, probably take some pretty severe risk on this run. So let's see how he gets into the track. Looking for a good start speed, and he is perfect, right where you want to be. It's outstanding start speed. Right, coming into gate 4, this is going to be our first sector time. Anywhere around 8 seconds is good. A decent angle, but a little bit wide. He's right at 8 seconds, but he may have scrubbed off some speed there because Tryggvason got kind of wide. He didn't take the best angle into gate number 4. Let's see now in this vertical turn maneuver, he's going to pull the airplane up and over the top. He looks very solid there. Now, gate number 8, again, looking for something in that 32-second range, and he must make a stronger cut. He's a little lazy going through there. No, 35 seconds is not going to get it done from Tryggvason, as he took kind of a lazy angle, and I think that all came out of gate number 4. All right, one more time for a low turn. Oh, no! On gate 10, it looks like he got a too high penalty. That is not good. 10 and 11 were too high, and a pylon hit. That's a 3-second penalty. That's on gate 12. Tryggvason's having a difficult run here. He may not know it just yet, but this is not going to work at all. All the way to another pylon hit. Tryggvason with a total of 3 pylon hits. Okay. And his time with penalties, and that's 13 seconds of penalties, is 1 minute, 24 seconds, .966. Basically, handing the heat to Aarron Deliu. Tryggvason did not have a very good run right there, but he was going for it, so you got to give him a little bit of credit there. All right, there he is. Deliu, the winner of race number 1. And thumbs up as he takes off from Keystone Heights Airport in Florida. Beautiful day to race. You can see the weather is perfect. Now, Deliu does not know it, but he basically has this in the bag as long as he doesn't commit a big error like a DNF. But other than that, he just has to get through this track at a decent speed. Remember, we said 1 minute 6 seconds is a good speed to look for as you attack this race 2 track. It's a very demanding track. 4 low turns, 1 vertical turn maneuver, lots of G on the pilots. All right, let's take a look at his start speed as he attacks the track. Perfect, 370 kilometers per hour. That's just exactly where you want to be. Okay, turn number 4. See that great angle that he's taking right there. Oh my goodness, 0.09 seconds ahead already of Tryggvason, and Tryggvason was very good at that point in the track. Aarron Deliu is looking very solid on the vertical turn maneuver. Tryggvason was not in trouble until later on in the track, and he had a good first sector time, but not nearly as good as Deliu. Another great angle, 3.885 seconds ahead of Tryggvason. Deliu doesn't know it. All he has to do is just go error-free, penalty-free, and he's clearly on to the next round, the semifinals. Okay, good pull there from Deliu. All right, this is another gate that's very interesting to see where he will be. He's going to be way ahead of Tryggvason. Yeah, 12 seconds ahead of Tryggvason. That's where Tryggvason got all the errors and the penalties. So it's a final push home. Looking for a good sign here. And he, oh my goodness, 1 minute 3.974. That is under 1 minute 4. We thought 1 minute 6 was good. Deliu, no penalties. 1 minute 3.974. Has he found his rhythm or what? Deliu is carrying on to the semifinals.
And my continued challenge is the last 3 pylons. Managed to just clip 2 exiting the course there. Putting speed just ahead of accuracy still, so looking forward to more seat time as we get through the season, and getting that accuracy up where it needs to be before we're going fast.
Aarron Deliu, 1 minute 03.974 seconds. No penalty.
All right, heading into Heat C, Mike Tryggvason versus Aarron Deliu. Mike, only his second race. Aarron, his second season in Air Race X. Really gonna see that difference between some experience versus really just starting to get used to this style of racing. Good pull-up from both pilots, and there you can see a very big difference on what we call the G schedule. The angles and the onset of the G, the timing looks very similar from both pilots. Aarron, though, just committing into the G and then continuing the pull. So that means that the pilot is pulling the stick back more and more and more as they go through the corner. This maximizes the radius, keeps the airplane flying very tight, and that makes geometry, and that makes time. Mike probably just still not quite as comfortable with the airplane. There's always some slight risk if you pull back too much, the airplane gets into a little bit of an aerodynamic stall. That can also slow you down. So that's just going to take some time for Mike to really experiment with the airplane, figure out that G schedule, and keep those turns tight. Aarron has that dialed in. He's used to this airplane now. He's got it set up to how he likes it, and he's able to execute that very aggressive style that he likes. Big cut angles, really tight turns, and being able to maintain that G, easily winning this heat.
Quarterfinal, Heat D.
A race 2 track is more flat turn, low turns, just one high turn, BTM. So that's race 2 is more about the cutting the angle to the gate. The angle gets through the gate in a big turn gate is the key to get the time.
I'm so excited. I'm so honored. I mean, we're making a dream come true, and now this is just the beginning. Okay. You know, I'm going to be the slow rookie, but just watch out, because as we go, this plane's gonna get faster and faster, and so am I.
Newcomer Melissa Burns struggled to post the time she was aiming for in the opening round due to changing weather conditions, finishing at the bottom of the standings. While she is still adapting to raceflight, her aggressive flying style shows great potential. All eyes will be on how she approaches her second race flight. Yoshihide Muroya consistently posts competitive times in the opening round but narrowly missed the final due to the heat matchups. He has continued to show consistent pace throughout race 2, including the practice flights. Can he advance through the rounds, score valuable points, and continue his quest to reclaim the title?
Okay, our first pilot in the final quarterfinal heat is Yoshihide Muroya. He is taken off out of Fukushima Airport in Japan. There he goes. Now, he is quite a consistent pilot, as we all know. Muroya has been doing this for a while. He's very calm and relaxed in the cockpit, there you can tell. And remember, looking for that time somewhere in that 1:06 range. Muroya is going to attack the track, and he's going to be first to set the time that Melissa Burns will have to better. All right, here we go. Let's take a look at the start speed as we come into the track. Perfect, 370 kilometers per hour, always right on speed. Now, take a look at this first turn. Great cut angle from Yoshihide Muroya as he really made up some good time. 7.792, under 8 seconds on that sector. That's incredible. That is very good. Here comes the first vertical turn maneuver, the only vertical turn maneuver. You can see it's just nice and smooth. Now, this is gate number 8, looking for a sector time in the 32-second range. Another great cut angle, and he's at 30.841. That is extremely good. Halfway through the track, he is really having a great run right now. All right, gate 11 is another low turn maneuver. And we're going to get his final split here on gate 13. Looking for something in that 54-second range would be very good. You can just see his angles are so strong. 53. Okay, he's right where he wants to be. This is a final sprint to the finish. Looking for anything around that 1:06 range. Muroya on the final tally, 1 minute 5.068. That's a great run for Muroya. A couple of victory rolls right there. That's really going to put the pressure on Melissa Burns. Good job by Muroya. All right, and there she is, our final competitor today, Melissa Burns from the United States of America, being taken off out of Keystone Heights Airport in Florida. And Burns really has her work cut out for her because she's going to have to better a 1 minute 0.05 second time posted by Muroya. Now, she flies solid, there's no doubt about it, but she's going to have to find some speed. It all comes down to the angles in those low turn gates. She's fine in the vertical turn maneuver, she's fine at the start, but she really needs to cut the angle a little sharper to scrub off some of that speed. Not scrub off the speed, to go faster through the track. All right, let's see how she does on the entry now. Here's Burns, and it is a great start. Good speed on the start, looking solid. Now, she's a great pilot, there's no doubt about that. But you can see right here, that's almost going straight through the gate. She is 0.2 seconds behind Muroya already on the first sector. Remember, Muroya was cutting those gates at an angle. Burns is doing it more like straight through the gate, so that is not going to work. Here comes a vertical turn maneuver, up and over the top. A very simple maneuver for someone of her skill level. Now, she's flying an airplane. It is an Edge 540, no doubt about it, but it doesn't quite have the modifications that some of the other race planes do. So it really has to put some pressure on her, and she did it again. Now she's 7 seconds behind the pace of Muroya. She simply does not have that angle, that attack angle through those low turns. All right, coming here to gate 11. We will not get a sector time, but we'll see how she does on the turn. A little better, actually, right there, but she has her work cut out for her as she's already getting close to Muroya's overall time, and she has some work yet to do. Here's gate 13. Let's see where she sits compared to Muroya. Again, she is way behind the pace, 14 seconds behind the pace of Muroya, and is simply in the angles that you take at those gates, but that's okay. Final sprint to the finish. This is only her second race. in her life of Air Race X, and she comes through penalty-free. 1 minute 23.069 victory roll for Burns. Not bad. She's going to have to find some speed moving forward, but I'll tell you this, she does not get penalties and she flies a clean run. Good for her.
It's about same to the target time, but not the reaching to the qualifying time. But the qualifying time is really conditions good, and also I push a little more harder on the qualifying. So as a quarterfinal, I think it's quite good.
Winner, Yoshihide Muroya. 1 minute 05.068 seconds. No penalty.
All right, quarterfinal heat D, Yoshihide Muroya versus Melissa Burns. She's a very experienced airshow competition pilot, but this is Melissa's second race. See her here really getting used to the track. Nice, good aileron roll control coming down through this first part of the track. But here's where you see the difference. That cut angle is fairly conservative, so penalty-free, but unfortunately that's just not going to make the time. So she needs to get comfortable seeing that gate, seeing that angle, getting the G on the airplane, and then keeping the G on the airplane. Also, her airplane is a very high performance, but not very heavily modified for this type of racing yet. I know she's going to be working on some of those modifications. You'll see with the new pilot, just getting that experience of finding the lines, finding the angles, getting comfortable putting the G on the airplane, keeping the G on the airplane. It's very, very different kind of flying than any other type of high-performance sport flying that we see. So Yoshi has that experience, has the airplane dialed in, and really is just going to focus on a clean run, no penalties, and should have no issues here from that.
Just like the opener, the top 4 go through to the semifinals. Muroya 65 is plenty quick, but Deliu's 63.974 super lap was a complete standout. Under 66 seconds is good. Under 64 is outstanding. That's the new benchmark. Velarde and McDonald just missed out. Their rhythm was fine, but mistakes at the crucial gate 11 cost them big time. Sharpen that race strategy, and a semifinal spot was within reach. The two newcomers are off the pace, but we know how hard it is to get these lines right. Watch for their improvement as the series progresses.
So this is our new baby, our Edge 540, which is a V2. It has some amazing history. The last person who was flying this was Ben Murphy in the Red Bull Air Race. Prior to that was Yoshi, and then we also have Steve Jones. So this has got some amazing history with some pretty cool pylon hits. If you want to look them up, is pretty cool. And in particular, that was quite a unique part of this airplane is the downwards winglets that are on this airplane, which has some unique characteristics when flying this airplane. We're still yet to map it out completely, but I'm really interested to see what we can do with this and maximize this design. If not, we do have some other winglets that we can utilize to see which ones work the best for us. And we're looking forward to making it our own and seeing what we can develop on this airplane to make it even faster.
Air Race X 2026 Semi-Final. Heat A. Deliu versus Davidson. If Aarron Deliu can repeat the 63-second run he delivered in the quarterfinals, he'll have a strong chance of advancing to the final. Patrick Davidson may need to find another gear and break into the 65-second range to stay in the contention. Before the start of this season, both pilots were focused on closing the gap on Yoshihide Muroya. Now, they find themselves battling each other for the championship. Which one will book a place in the final and move one step closer to the victory? The spotlight is on this decisive heat.
Okay, there he is. Davidson, first to fly in the semifinals. Now, he is last year's champion, taking off from Grahamstown Airport in the Eastern Cape of South Africa. He's been very, very consistent, Davidson. He has posted very consistent times, which shows us one thing, that he is comfortable on this racetrack. The race number 2 track is more demanding than the race number 1 track, with 4 low turns and 1 vertical turn maneuver. You got to be very, very careful not to exceed the start speed here, and he doesn't. He's right where he needs to be. Now remember, gates 4, 8, and 13 are our sector times. Right here's gate 4, great angle. Anything under 8 seconds is good. Right at 8 seconds is considered very good on the first sector. All right, now he's going to go outbound for the vertical turn maneuver. He should have no problem here. Yes, he may have actually delayed a little bit too long before he pulled, but that's okay. Very safe. Outbound now. This is going to be gate number 8. Anything in that 32-second range is considered strong. Another great cut angle, 32 seconds on the button. So it's almost like we know what we're doing here. Patrick Davidson flying a great run so far. And he's going to have another low turn here on gate 11. A good solid turn. Let's see how he comes into play as he goes out to gate 13, our final sector time. Somewhere in that 54 seconds is considered very good on this split, and he's right at 54 seconds. He absolutely has this dialed in. Davidson, just a few gates left to navigate. Let's see what time he can post to put the pressure on his competitor. And it's a great time, 1 minute 5.251, under that 1 minute 6 seconds. Great job by Davidson. He is going to put a lot of pressure on Deliu, the race 1 winner. Great job by Davidson in his semifinal heat. Okay, here he comes, Aarron Deliu, race 1 winner, and he's coming off that blistering quarterfinal track speed of 1 minute 3 seconds, an absolutely stellar speed, the fastest we've seen yet. All right, Deliu knows that he's up against Patrick Davidson, and he has to be aggressive here. Davidson's always consistent, always lays down really good times. Let's see how Deliu can handle the course as his start speed is 368. That's perfect. Coming out to gate number 4, anytime in that 8-second range is good. Oh, and he's changing it up to go to the right. Oh, look at the G meter. Unbelievable. This is incredible. He was ahead 0.097 of Patrick Davidson, but unfortunately, over G equals DNF, disqualification. It was a DQ for Deliu, and he will not carry on to the finals. The best he can hope for now is a 3rd place podium finish.
Okay, check the G meter. We've got 12 Gs there. However, we had a spike above 12, and that gave us a DQ for semis. So I'm bummed. I was on a good run. Could have been better though, but on the first high G turn, I exceeded 12 Gs. G meter wasn't showing me that, unfortunately, so we've got to fly under that G setting. We put that in, and that means we get a D and F for semis. It's not the end of the world though. We're now going to do our finals because we're going to be battling for 3rd or 4th position. If we lose, we're 4th overall for race 2. If we win, we get 3rd. So I want the win. I've got to get a good, decent time. Got to get sub 65. We've been able to do 63s. It's hard not to push, so we just got to be conservative. The first one, I'm going to take it nice and easy, and then the next one, we'll give it everything. But yeah, super bummed. I really wanted to battle against Yoshi in the finals.
Winner, Patrick Davidson. 1 minute 05.251 seconds. No penalty.
Semifinal Heat A, Patrick Davidson versus Aarron Deliu. Patrick looks like he's getting knocked around pretty good here, actually. Both smooth starting off. And, Aarron seems like he got just a little bit waylaid there, getting crosswise, and there you go, 12 Gs. It's super easy to happen. You're carrying tons of energy into that first low turn. You want to go aggressive. You want to get the line. There's a slight hesitation. The temptation is to make up for that by just really reefing it in, really getting that G on. And it happens in a split second here with these airplanes to hit that over G.
Semi-final, Heat B. Šonka versus Muroya, 2 legendary pilots who have conquered the world. Šonka has delivered consistent times through qualifying and the quarterfinals, but he has yet to show the sharp pace he displayed in the opening round. He'll need an aggressive run to book his place in the final. Muroya has consistently posted times in the 66-second range. The key will be managing the G-forces through the 4 low turns without sacrificing speed. The rivalry that has endured for years. There's no doubt that the victory here could have a major impact on the championship.
Okay, there he is, Martin Šonka, the final semifinal heat. Martin Šonka will go up against Muroya. Martin Šonka has been posting some great times here lately. He's really come into his form in the 2026 race season, having a great race one result and looking to carry that momentum on at race 2. All right, Šonka is about to attack the track. And remember, we're looking for somewhere in that 1 minute 6 second range is considered good, and that would put the pressure on Muroya. Okay, good start speed. Now he's coming here to gate number 4. This is going to be our first sector time. Good angle, excellent angle, 8 seconds, right on 8 seconds. That's considered the time that you want to have on gate number 4. All right, setting himself up now for the vertical turn maneuver. Šonka, very experienced here. Pulls the airplane up and over the top, looks good, looking solid. Unloads the airplane to accelerate the airplane. You know, when you pull G on the body or pull G on the airplane, you're actually going to scrub off a little speed. Good angle now through gate number 8, looking at 32 seconds, and he is right there, 32 seconds at that sector time. Very solid, but you don't want to pull so hard as he's setting himself up now for gate 11. If you pull too hard, you're going to scrub off just a little bit of speed. That was a solid pull. Solid pull. He was clearly way under the G limit of 12 Gs. All right, coming out now for gate number 13, looking for 54 seconds, and he has lost some time. He's at 56.8. This is not going to do it to get to that 1 minute 6 range. Let's just see what his final time is posted. And here he comes across the gate. Okay, no penalties, 1 minute 9.046. Not his best effort. We've seen better from Šonka earlier on in race 2, but it's still, he posted the time, so it's up to Muroya to beat that. And there he is, Yoshihide Muroya, former world champion and our top qualifier. Now, Muroya is very, very consistent. He tends to stay in that 1 minute 5 range, and that's a very good time to post on this racetrack. Race number 2, like I said, this track is a little more difficult than race number 1. And it all comes down to this first sector time. Let's look at his entry speed right now. 368, that's perfect. All right, he's gonna set himself up for a good cut angle, as he always does. That's a perfect cut angle, and he is 0.278 seconds ahead. Now remember, Šonka had a great first sector time at approximately 8 seconds. So Muroya really has had a good start to this semifinal heat. All right, nice pull there. Now, Muroya looks like he's actually accelerating there. He's carrying that altitude, translating that into airspeed. Coming now to gate number 8, looking for 32 seconds or so. And he is ahead by 0.767 on gate number 8. So just a few more gates to go. He has gate 11 coming up here, which is another low turn, high G turn, great cut angle. Again, Yoshihide Muroya is very, very consistent on his angles going into these gates. Final gate now, he has a better 56 seconds, which he certainly will. And he is. He's 0.261 seconds ahead of Šonka. It's the final sprint to the finish. No errors now, and Muroya will carry on to the finals. Let's see his final time. No penalties, 1 minute 5.815. Like I said, incredibly consistent. Muroya will carry on to the finals in race number 2.
I'm not very happy with the semifinals because for some reason we don't have performance today. I feel like the engine is not, it doesn't have power, so we are 3 seconds slower actually compared to yesterday. Clean flights, 2 clean runs, and 3 seconds slower. And yeah, I don't know what's wrong. So maybe the engine setting, but yeah, I did actually everything the same like yesterday, and it didn't work. So yeah, now the finals, which we won't probably use and need, but yeah, we'll concentrate for the next one.
Winner, Yoshihide Muroya. 1 minute 05.815 seconds. No penalty.
Semifinal B, our two world champions are going to go head-to-head. Let's see how this plays out. Both very smooth, very patient in that initial lineup, letting the airplanes unwind, accelerate. Yoshi with a little bit of a lead there, but going for a less aggressive pull. So you'll see Martin pulling ahead, keeping the G on the airplane. Now he's got that geometric advantage, but Yoshi probably just trying to take it easy, keep some energy on the airplane, seeing the same thing with the high turn. Yoshi letting off a little bit, letting the airplane run, letting it unload early, and now you see he's just carrying that little bit more energy. That final low turn, both with the same cut angle, very, very similar lines, but Yoshi just carrying that little bit more, one more knot, two more knots, and then as he goes down the track, that's going to expand more and more. One of the things with these Air Race X type tracks is they're very tight tracks, and in some cases, on the initial pulls, you can actually make time by not fully attacking the G, but just keeping some of that energy and banking it for later, and I think that's what we're seeing here. Yoshi just able to maintain some slight more speed at the beginning of the track, and that pays dividends through the end of the run.
Third place match. Deliu has been finding big gains with his aggressive flying style. After exceeding the G limit in the semi-final, can he continue to push the limits in the final? Šonka has been remarkably consistent this season. His times continue to improve with each round. Just how much faster can he go? With the championship in mind, both pilots will be looking to score as many points as possible.
Okay, there he is, Aarron Deliu, hoping to make something out of the mistake he made in that semifinal where he had the over G. He wants to get a podium finish, third place. That's what this race is now. It's a race for third between Aarron Deliu and Martin Šonka. Deliu, the first to attack the track. Now remember, 1 minute 6 seconds is considered a good time. Deliu has posted a 1 minute 3 seconds, but could be a little bit tentative after that over G on this gate right here, gate number 4. Let's see what his sector time is. 7.956. That's a very good sector time, and he did keep it under the G limit there. So Deliu's looking solid. He's going to set himself up for the vertical turn maneuver. All right, looks good. Up and over the top. And he's on his way to gate number 8. Somewhere in the 32-second range will get him that 1 minute 6 second overall time. And his sector time is good, 32.336. So far so good. Oh, right there, a little bit of a side slip from Deliu. You don't want to do that. That's going to scrub off some speed. And he looks a little conservative here on gate number 11. Let's see if it pays dividends on gate 13, which is the final sector time. Let's see if it does cost him some time. You're looking for 54 seconds. Yeah, he did. He lost some time. He's at 55.265 seconds as a final push for home. He's going to have to find something. He only has a few gates left to go. Aarron Deliu, 1 minute 7.023, considerably off his pace of 1 minute 3 in the quarterfinals. But at least he got through the track. No DNF for Deliu. Okay, there he is, the final, the next pilot to fly, Martin Šonka. This is going to be the battle for the podium and the coveted series points. You want that top 3. Martin Šonka having a good start to the 2026 race season, having a great finish in the first race. Let's see if he can get 2 podiums in a row. Going to attack the track, and there he goes, 369. Great start speed for Šonka as he comes through to the first gate, gate number 4, and he's ahead by 0.11. Now, that's amazing because Deliu had a really good first sector time, but Martin's just a little bit cleaner. All right, the vertical turn maneuver setting up right here. Very nice pull. He did not waste any energy there or time. Look as he accelerates now to gate number 8. Let's see if he can better that 32 seconds posted by Deliu. And he has 1.275. This is a great run by Šonka. So far, I bet he wish he had this run a minute ago. He'd be in the finals. All right, keep on going, Šonka. This is another critical turn. Gate 11, low turn, a lot of G on the body. Sets himself up now for gate 13, or final sector time, and I would imagine he'd be considerably ahead of Deliu. Well, he actually lost a little bit of time. He's 0.917 seconds, but still comfortably ahead of Deliu for the final push home. Let's see what Šonka can post. Will he make the podium? And he does, no penalty. 1 minute 5.783, a great run for Šonka. One run too late. Had he done that in the previous run, it would have been much closer with Muroya, but it doesn't matter. Šonka goes on for a podium finish, third place, race 2.
Winner, Martin Šonka. 1 minute 05.783 seconds. No penalty.
All right, our third place battle, Aarron Deliu versus Martin Šonka. This will be an interesting one to watch. Aarron, after having that over G in the previous run, really kind of plays on your mind. Maybe don't have that quite confidence to be able to take the same aggressive line, to pull quite as hard. A little unsure about that G, and you can see that playing out here. So Martin starting to pull ahead, and I think, Aarron's just probably being just a little bit too conservative now, trying to make sure that he doesn't have any penalties. There's a very, very fine line between really pushing and being on the limit and making those really fast times versus just trying to back off a little bit. And oftentimes, if you back off just even a tiny bit, it ends up being much bigger time loss than you think it might be. It's very easy to lose 1, 2, 3 seconds by just being slightly conservative. So that's one of these challenges that these pilots have to figure out, is like when to push, how hard to push, and to really put it all together and be on the limit to win these races. So both pilots flying really, really well. Martin's just got it completely dialed in, very smooth, all the way to the finish here, and Martin's gonna take the win.
Race 2, final. Davidson is determined to secure victory as he begins his title defense. At key moments throughout his career, Yoshihide Muroya has stood in his way. Last season, Davidson finally overcame that challenge to claim his long-awaited series title. This time, he faces Muroya not as the challenger, but as the champion. Can he prove his strength and claim his first victory of the season?
All right, here it comes, the final. Patrick Davidson, number 77, taking off from Grahamstown in Eastern Cape, South Africa. Last year's champion, and this is a repeat of the final race last year against Yoshihide Muroya. All right, beautiful weather there in South Africa. Patrick Davidson needs to post a good time. He knows that Muroya is a very consistent pilot, flying in that 105 range. All right, good start speed, perfect. Setting up for this very critical gate number 4, somewhere in that 8-second range is considered good, right at 8 seconds. Okay, he's solid. Step 1 complete. Coming back, setting himself up for the vertical turn maneuver. Davidson looking solid. Let's see where he pulls. Good pull, maybe a little bit late, maybe just a little bit late, but it's hard to say. It's a game of inches. Rolls the airplane upright. Now he's gathering speed for gate number 8. Looking for 32 seconds on the sector time. That'll give him a great time. Great angle there, and he's right at 32 seconds. So far, so good for Davidson. He's a great pilot, and he does know how to perform under pressure. All right, coming up now to gate number 11. Another low turn maneuver, lots of G on the body as he comes back down to gate number 13. This is a critical one. Somewhere in that 54-second range is what you're looking for. Another great angle, and he's right at 54 seconds. He is almost dialed in perfectly. This should be in that 105, 106 range, and he seems to be gaining some speed. Oh my goodness, no penalty. 1 minute, 4.998 seconds. That is an incredible time. That's going to put a lot of pressure on Muroya. 1 minute, 4.998 for Davidson.
Muroya has steadily worked his way into the final with another composed and consistent performance. Davidson has already posted a 64.998 second run. To take the win, Muroya and his team will need to find another gear and break into the 64-second range. The current champion and the former champion are evenly matched. A close battle is expected. This could prove to be the race that shapes the outcome of the championship.
Okay, it comes down to this. There's Muroya, number 31, going to be taken off at a Fukushima Sky Park in Japan. There he is, live shot. Now, he has his work cut out for him because there was a very, very good time laid down by Davidson of 1:04 and change. So let's see what Muroya can do. Good start speed, right where you want to be. This is a critical gate number 4. Let's check out the sector times. Who's ahead? And he is slightly ahead, 0.233 seconds by Muroya. Very good start for Muroya as he's coming back down the back half of the track, and he has to do that vertical turn maneuver. There it is. He pulls up always so strong, right when you want to pull up. Okay, this is going to be a critical sector time. Gate number 8. Although it looks kind of weird, I don't think I see any smoke coming from his airplane, but he's ahead anyway by 0.943 seconds. Remains to be seen. I don't see smoke, but we'll see if the judges say something about that. All right, coming back through gate number 11, a good turn. Here he comes down. This is going to be a critical sector time. This is gate number 13. He's got to be in that 54-second range to have a run at it. Oh, and they did get it for insufficient smoke. He's 1.282 seconds ahead, but you have to deduct 1 second, so he's barely ahead, just barely ahead. Yoshi Muroya, his final time. Oh my gosh, how close do you like it? 1:04.869 seconds. That's what the 1 second penalty just betters Davidson's run. Incredible finish from Muroya. And I'll tell you, this was a rematch of last year's championship. Davidson won in 2025, and there's Muroya. He's very happy. He's not going to be happy that he had a smoke run out, but he's certainly going to be happy that even with that 1 second penalty, he was able to carry through for the Race 2 victory. Muroya with a great time of 1:04 and change, just slightly ahead.
Winner, Yoshi Muroya. 1:04.869 seconds. 1 second penalty.
All right, here's our final for race 2. Patrick Davidson versus Yoshi Muroya. Both pilots, slightly different approach angles, but both are flying very smooth down to this first low turn, that big windup. Angles look similar, G schedule looks similar. Looks like Yoshi's pulling ahead just a little tiny bit. Patrick maybe carrying a little bit more energy, and they're still in this one. Now we're gonna see the key to this matchup is just details. The only thing that Patrick got beaten on there was just maybe 1/10 of a second of pull-up timing, which translates to about 2 to 3/10 of track time. Coming down to the other end, Yoshi holding really good energy. Again, Patrick maybe just a little shy on angle, a little bit shy on the G, and so now he's got even more gap. Coming down for this next low turn, seeing the same thing, just a little bit of angle, a little bit of timing. These details, they stack. It's like stacking pennies. You got to get each little detail, put it all together, and that's what allows you to win races. Yoshi, final low turn, absolutely insane. Aggressive cut, aggressive G. Now he's going to put it out of touch, take the airplane all the way down to the finish. Yoshi's your winner.
Let's take a look at the final results of Air Race X 2026 Series Race 2. Taking the victory was number 31, Lexus Pathfinder Air Racing, Yoshi Muroya. Finishing second was number 77, Team 77, Patrick Davidson. In third was number 8, Red Bull Team Šonka, Martin Šonka. The remaining results are as follows. And here are the championship standings. With a maximum 33 points from race 2, Yoshi Muroya moves to the top of the standings with 53 points. He is followed by Aarron Deliu, Martin Šonka, and Patrick Davidson. And that wraps up our coverage of race 2 of the 2026 series. Spanky, how did you see this event?
This was a race where Yoshi's strength really stood out. It's not that he showed blistering speed in any one heat. He was quick throughout and kept lowering his times, round after round. Not a fast team, that's a strong team.
Davidson took second, bouncing back from fourth at the opener.
That's right. The conditions seemed to go against him last time out, so this was much closer to his true level.
Šonka and Deliu are both holding good form too, right?
Yes, Deliu's aggressive turns were razor sharp again. On a track like this one, with so many horizontal turns, that really works in his favor. And like Yoshi, Šonka keeps improving round by round, so both the pilot and the aircraft are in a good shape.
With race 2 done, it's clearly these top 4 leading the series.
Exactly. The top 4 are closer enough that any single race could flip the order. Qualifying points included, the next race is likely to be a big turning point.
Do Velarde and McDonald still have a chance?
If either of them reaches the semifinals, that means one of the leaders goes out in the quarterfinals, and the championship picture could change dramatically. Their times are not far off. We'll have to wait and see what happens next round.
So the next race is the one to watch.
Absolutely. The next race should narrow the title picture to a handful of names, and then on to the final round.
Looking forward to it. Spanky, thank you so much.
Thank you. Let's tune in to the next race and see what happens.
For the latest updates on the RaceX 2026 series, be sure to visit our official website and follow our social media channels. Follow each pilot and team on social media for even more exclusive content. Race 3 is scheduled to stream on Sunday, August 16th. Stay with us for the rest of the RaceX 2026 series, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.